Hey guys, thanks for clicking on the Justin Root Show. I'm over here. I know all eyes are on this handsome fellow, Juan Pablo Di Pace. Thank you so much for coming on my show. I have to start off by saying you're also a dear, dear friend of mine.
I am.
Who I owe you so much thanks. Little fun Justin Root Show tidbit here. This man taught me how to edit this show.
We sat down for what, 15 hours? 15 hours.
Because we probably spent about 8 hours watching our favorite music videos. Because you are a huge music person.
I am a huge music and music video person.
Yes, you are.
An MTV kid.
Oh, wait, so let me ask you. Juan Pablo Di Pace, what comes first? Music, Juan Pablo? Because you're singer, dancer, you do all of it. Or actor, Juan Pablo.
Right. Chronologically, it was dancer, singer, actor, because that's how I started school. I did school in London and we did the whole fame thing where you go to class at 9 a.m. and you do ballet first and then you do singing and then you do acting. It's until 6 p.m. But originally I was a dancer. I started doing Chicago the musical in London and...
But wait, hold on. How'd you get to London? Because you were born in Argentina, right?
Yes. I kind of left Argentina at 16, 17. On
For
a
good.
scholarship. Yeah. It was a scholarship to go to Italy to finish high school in Italy and I kind of didn't tell my parents. I applied. I did the whole, test, and I got the call.
You didn't tell your parents?
My dad was like, "Wait a minute! You just got accepted to go to an Italian school and a full scholarship, so we don't have to pay for anything. But what is this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, can I?" So I did.
So you had a very supportive family.
Yeah,
very supportive.
Always. My sister really is the reason why I'm an entertainer. I was very shy, incredibly. I still am a little shy, but back then I was super shy, and I remember watching her, and I remember thinking, she has some balls to do that stuff, and I would never have them. I think that plays with your mind, when you see something that you're kind of scared of, but super attracted to.
Yeah.
I sort of started acting school, acting classes here and there, and then that was it.
What kind of jump from Argentina to Europe? I mean, that has to be a huge cultural change, right?
Yes and no. I think my family's...
I got so scared, by the way, you were going to say Argentina's in Europe. I was like...
Kind of. I mean, no, you're not very far away, because Argentina is probably the most European country in South America. We think we are. Anyway.
Okay.
We are all half Italian. So my father's Italian. So we grew up with this European mentality, even though we were in Argentina. We always eat pasta and meat and big dinners and huge family gatherings. So to go to Europe at 17, to Italy, it wasn't a huge shift. What was the huge shift was 2 years later where I decided I wanted to act, as a career.
To make it okay.
Yeah, just to go, okay, I'm gonna pursue this thing and I wanna be in the center of it.
Yeah.
I spent 10 years in London, and in London it was a great time because I discovered a lot of things and I realized that I wanted to do this, but I also was in Mamma Mia during my time in London with Meryl Streep.
Well, which is basically the only question I have for you today.
Tell me.
No, you tell me. Everything.
Everything.
You sat on her lap. You humped her.
Her
you
ass.
dropped her. Details. I want it all. So you're living in London.
I'm living in London.
Okay.
Yes.
And what? Meryl just calls and is like, "Hey, Colin needs a boyfriend."
She doesn't call. No, basically, I think after Chicago, I was doing other things, and then I get a call saying, "Hey, Phillida Lloyd, the director, wants to meet you in Pinewood Studios," which is where they shoot 007 and Batman and all the amazing Blade Runner, Alien. I just keep going. I get to this place and I sit down next to Phillida Lloyd and she's like, "Oh, there's this little role. He doesn't talk, but all of your scenes would be with Meryl Streep and Colin Firth. If you want it, I know you from the Chicago stuff." And
so she had seen you in Chicago.
She had, apparently.
Okay.
Anyway, that stuff doesn't happen because usually you have to do 70 auditions to get one role.
Yeah.
So the fact that the Mamma Mia director calls you and says, "Hey, would you like this?" So of course I'm dribbling and I'm like, "Yeah, please." And she's like, "Okay, then go downstairs and try on your clothes and tomorrow you're dancing at 9 a.m. with the rest of the cast." So I had no speaking part, but I was Colin Firth's partner, which was in itself an amazing kind of experience because he's the sweetest guy. But anyway, the next day I just go into this big warehouse. They're rehearsing. And when it's really sunny outside and you go into a space and it's all black.
Oh, you can't see it.
Your eyes are like this. So all I see is like shadows of people and whatever, and I'm just kind of like focusing, and there she is. You know, it's just like glow emanating from like every pore. It's like Jesus Christ. And so the choreographer goes, okay, we're gonna do voulez-vous now, and you know, Julian, you're gonna pair up with Martin, and Sarah, you're gonna go with Jeff, and Juan Pablo, you're gonna go with Meryl. And I'm like, what? And so that's how I met her. I literally, like, me meeting Meryl Streep was dancing with Meryl Streep.
Oh, unbelievable. And she's got, I've never heard a bad thing about her. I really haven't.
Well, there's nothing bad you can say or think, or like, she really is that beautiful. She's a stunning woman. She's tall. She's very tall. And it's almost like you're in the presence of the Queen of England. I mean, not because she gives off that energy, but because she actually
is the Queen of England.
Is the Queen of the world. I mean, I remember I was just so like, you know, trying to ask her questions and stuff to kind of like break the ice. And she was so gracious and lovely. And till the end of the shoot, you know, we had a great time. She called me her dancing partner. You're my dancing partner. Juan Pablo.
When I met you, you were on reboot number 1, Dallas.
Yeah.
I just want to ride a horse to it all day. I love that. I love it. Did you watch the original?
I must have done. I mean, it's in the collective unconscious of everyone.
Yeah.
And also, I grew up in the 80s.
I grew up with all that stuff. I mean, that had to be. What's that like? You like, I'm gonna go to America. I want to be an actor. I want to make a living at it. You come over. All of a sudden, you're on a TV show.
It was pretty unreal.
In your mind, is that how it was supposed to happen?
No. Well,
you realize that that's not normal, right?
It's not normal, no. And you wish. Like, that's what you wish.
For years and years, some people.
I know.
You got it in a second.
I kind of felt guilty because the first audition I did was Dallas.
What?
On like the Saturday. And on Monday I was in Dallas shooting. It was unreal. I mean, you hear stories like that, but you go, that's never going to happen. It's kind of like the Philip Lloyd phone call. You're like, that doesn't happen.
Was it Linda Gray calling you, or?
No.
No?
But Linda Gray was...
Tell me everything. I've already made you tell me at lunch and stuff, but I want more.
Just amazing. She was very sweet. Very sweet. When I did that first scene where I'm like telling people off in the room.
Oh, the boardroom, right?
The boardroom.
Yeah, I remember that.
And you watch that scene and you're like, oh, there's this guy coming in and telling people off. But what I was feeling inside was, you know, he was like Linda Gray and Patrick Duffy and Jesse Metcalf and Jordana Brewster. And Linda came and gave me a hug. He's like, oh, welcome to the family.
So after Dallas, you played that one guy, Jesus Christ.
Oh, right, him.
There it is. Just happened to land yourself on the friggin' cover of TV Guide. I think you're on the side of like a building on Sunset, right?
I was.
Yeah.
And on Times Square, which kind of floored me because, you know, being a musical theater like geek, to be on Times Square was like...
And those are huge. Those are the Mark Burnett Bible series and all that kind of... How in the hell... Oh, that was a bad pun. How in the hell did you play Jesus?
How
did you get that part, though?
And it was a self-tape, and it was... I had to send it to London, and then London replied, the director saying, hey, can you do it again? Do it this way. So I sent another tape, and then... It was like a total of 3 tapes. I was hiking in Griffith Park, and all of a sudden there's like this twister. Like a twister.
Like a tornado?
Just go like... No, like a little... You know, one of those little...
Cyclone things
that happen, and all these like black birds start flying above my head. I'm going, what the hell's going on? I freaked out, and then a voice in my head just kind of goes, are you ready? Yes. It all goes away, the birds go away, they fly away, and like a minute later my phone beeps, and it's my manager. Congratulations, you got it. I know.
Really?
Yes, and it's one of those things that I couldn't fathom myself, but I understand now why it was so important, because it was a life-changing experience.
Wow, I never heard that. I didn't know that.
I never told you that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. Just being there, I mean, even starting with that. I mean, we started with the resurrection. That was the first scene that I ever shot. And then the second scene was the crucifixion. And it was amazing. And it was amazing to be in Morocco. The dirt was real. The wind storms were real. And then to be working with Roman Downey and Mark Burnett is probably one of the happiest kind of experiences as an actor I've ever had. Because we sat down at dinner like the night before I started shooting. And they're like, you know why you're here, right? We chose you because we we want you to do whatever you want with it. So no one ever told me what to do with the part. I'll love them forever for it because they really gave me the biggest gift.
And tell them about the part where Roma Downey was like, I was in the bushes at Griffith Park asking if you were
Yeah, that was her. Maybe she was in the bushes.
That's how they cast people. Yeah. Do you know that? Mark Burnett has a little radar and he knows where you are, and then he's like, are you ready? Just from the bushes on hike. What? How many years have you lived here? You've been in Hollywood 4 now, right? That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Usually people who've only been here for 4 years, you would think you'd be playing like 4 years worth of the small waiter parts. Evil guy right away with Dallas, right? And then complete opposite, sweet Jesus. Nice, and now sitcom, Fuller House. I mean, what a variety. To have that soon in your career, that's pretty amazing. You're not in a bubble. You're not stuck in this like, oh, he's always going to play the soap opera asshole guy, or he's always going to play Jesus and all the Jesus roles. But you know what I mean? Like, your variety is stellar. That's pretty amazing.
Well, thank you.
I didn't say you were good at it. I just said that's what you're just very... No. But seriously, like, that's pretty amazing.
Thank you.
Well, let's go into Fuller House. Are you having a blast over there? I mean, I've come to the show. I've seen 2 tapings, and I mean, you guys, the energy there it's unlike anything I've ever seen in a cast.
We have fun. Like, it's great to have a job where you're laughing all day long. You get the script. It's a half-an-hour play. You rehearse the play on a Monday, and then you show it to the producers, and you make sure that on that Monday, every line that's on the script is funny. So whatever they decide afterwards to change lines or not change lines, your job is to make those lines funny. So we're laughing all day long. Then you show it to the producers and the writers. The writers make changes. And then the next day, the script is better, funnier. So you do the same thing over again. Then you show it. And then by the time we shoot, you've been laughing all week long. And then you have the audience who laughs with you. There's no other job that compares to something like that, I think. It just makes you happy.
And you shoot at
makes you a ham as well.
Yeah. You shoot at the Warner Brothers lot.
Yeah.
Tell them where do you shoot? What soundstage?
It's Soundstage 24, which is where they premiered Full House in the 80s and Friends. It's a very iconic stage, and I hope I'm in Lisa Kudrow's dressing room.
Let's just go with that.
I'm just gonna go with that. I'm like the last dressing room on the left. And I hope I'm in Lisa Kudrow's dressing room.
Well, she watches this show, so she'll confirm. She'll text me and she'll be like, it's the second one on the left, or whatever. But,
good.
She's always in the comeback character to me. Like, she's always like,
always talks like
she doesn't need to see your dressing room. You know, we kind of loosely touched on coming into an established show, but this one's like, I mean, Dallas is huge. Full House
is huger.
It's fuller.
Yeah.
But it is. I was raised on Full House. So many of us were.
I know.
And it's such
but me.
Everyone but you. So you never watched, right?
Well, I was aware of it. I mean, I was raised on The Nanny, but we didn't get Full House in Argentina.
And I think this is an important thing to say. Is this true? I read this on the internet. Internet doesn't lie. Are you playing the first Argentine character in sitcom history?
Yes, I am.
How is that even possible? And congratulations. That's amazing. And that has something to do with you, right? As an actor?
Yeah. Well, the whole process of getting Fuller House was quite amazing because it was and this is the time, I knew you at this time. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you remember, but I think you helped me with a few.
Oh, I taped a couple for you, yeah.
It was pilot season 2015 or something. And I was doing audition, and I was getting nothing. And they're like, oh, by the way, there's one more casting for Netflix, Full House spin-off. And so I go there and I do an ass of myself because I am so desperate at this point. I was like the clown. I mean, I was just like, nah! You know, and they laughed. And but that's it. I forgot about it. And then I went to Spain the next day. I arrive in Spain, I have like a 2-day holiday, and then I get a call saying, oh, Netflix wants to see you again, to tone it down a little bit.
Oh, wow.
So I came back and I got the part. The next day we were doing the table read.
And how was he written originally? He was written
I think, Colombian.
And so what'd you say to the producers? I'm from Argentina?
Right. Jeff Franklin was there in my screen test, and he asked me the question, where are you from? Blah, blah, Argentina. And then when I got the part, we sat down and I said to them, listen, if you make him Argentinian, I will have a lot more to offer because because that's where I'm from. So they loved it, and yeah, and I was proud to have a little part in the fact that Fernando is from Argentina.
Am I correct in saying that since you started, you have been in every single episode?
Season 1, I was in half.
Okay.
And they made me series regular on the second and third. Yeah.
But second and third, you're in every single episode.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Every episode.
You're a star of the sitcom.
Titles.
Yeah. Have you been to the Real House up in San Francisco?
Oh yeah. We actually
because you shot something there. That's right.
We did a promo. We did like a promotional. I think it was the premiere of season 2. They got us all there, and we opened the house because the house was bought by Jeff Franklin. And so once he bought the house and repainted the red door, we took a picture with the whole cast there to announce season 2, I think, or 3.
So you were at my birthday party,
Yes.
and my mom met you.
Yes.
And she thinks you're married. So if you ever go to Indiana, you might be married to someone named Sarah Jane. You just might be.
Okay.
Don't deny it. Don't deny it.
Sarah Jane.
Yes, Sarah Jane.
Yeah.
Then I have a friend who's, I think she's 12. Sorry, Brooke, if you're 13.
I
name's
remember Brooke.
Yes, and I made you do a video for her.
Yes.
And when I've been to the tapings at Fuller House,
Yeah.
half of the audience are mothers and women dying to get your attention, and then the other half are the kids trying to get your attention.
There's a generational gap there.
But that has to be, I mean, so basically what I'm trying to say is you probably can't go anywhere without somebody recognizing you because it encompasses so many generations.
Yeah, it has a very unique sort of spectrum of demographic.
Yeah. So who stops you the most on the street? Like who comes up to you?
I think it's the moms. I think it's the moms, and then when the kids realize, then they kind of join. Disneyland and the Grove are the two places where I feel like I'm an actor.
Really amazing.
And that's it. Nowhere else.
Nowhere else. Just the Grove and Disneyland.
Yeah, that's it.
I love it. What do you think Full House and Fuller House have that makes people just fall in love?
I think it's the heart in the fact that, first of all, is an unconventional family. So that in itself, I think, trumped anything that had been done before, because it's 3 single men raising, 3 little daughters. And that in itself in the 80s was, I think it was revolutionary, because this idea of the perfect family, mom, dad, kids, was starting to, waver. And there's single parents, there's divorced parents, And the fact that it's a fantasy. The show is a fantasy. It's not a comedy. I was talking to one of the writers about this, and I thought that's a really great way to describe the show. Things happen in our show that would never happen in real life at all. However, by the end of the show, there's always a message that is to do with being a better person. And it's not really like a life lesson. If you watch every episode and you're looking for, the heart, every one of them have it. And it was the same in 87, 92, as it is in 17.
We're going to play a little game. This is about your Fuller House cast. Who would cause the biggest scene if they saw a spider?
Andrew Barber.
Which cast member would you want to be stuck in an elevator with?
Oh.
And you can go anywhere.
I can't choose.
No, but it could be like, maybe you could think who could get you out of it, who would calm you down. There's many different things. Doesn't have to be your favorite. It could be like, who would get me through this?
That's a really hard one. Oh, Sony. Sony, who plays my daughter.
Ramona.
All
right. Who would steal something off your plate first when you're not looking?
Oh, definitely Bob Saget.
Who do you think has the most speeding tickets?
That would be Bob Saget.
Who has the cleanest dressing room?
Candace Cameron.
Really? Okay.
It's spotless. It's like white everywhere. It's beautiful.
Who would you ask to provide a fake alibi?
Jodie.
She'd do it.
Oh my God, she's like...
Who has the dirtiest mouth? Is it Bob Saget again?
Well, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe you could do
I feel like
aside from Bob Saget.
Okay, who aside from Bob Saget has the dirtiest mouth? Who has the second dirtiest mouth?
I have a pretty dirty mouth.
You?
I do.
Alright.
Yeah.
If you fell, in these big Fuller House stunts that you do, who would run over to you first?
Candace.
Yeah.
Candace.
I see that. I can see that.
She's a mom.
Motherly.
A real, protector.
Who would win Jeopardy?
Oh, I think Andrea.
Andrea?
Yeah.
Okay. Who would kick your ass in a fight? I feel like you and John Stamos would just be like avoiding each other's hair. Ow! Don't! No!
Yeah,
Ow!
I don't think we would let each other win.
Yeah.
It would go on forever.
Okay.
No, I think maybe Elias.
You'd kick your ass?
Yes.
That's Max, right? Yes. Who would be the most fun to take to a concert?
It's Andrea Barber.
Really?
Oh my god,
She a big
she's
music
obsessed with like New Kids on the Block, and she goes on every tour.
Still?
Oh yeah. And she screams like when they're on. It's amazing to watch.
Who would host the best dinner party?
Laurie is quite amazing at dinner. I've been to a Laurie party and they're like beautiful.
Last but not least, who would you trust most to erase your browser history and empty the contents of your naughty drawer at home, if you have one?
Charity.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
All right. She sounds great.
That's
She
amazing.
sounds great. Well, sounds like you
all
love.
amazing.
Yeah. I mean,
all amazing. Starting with Jeff, he makes you feel like you're a family, and I'm forever grateful.
all right. So acting wasn't enough. You have to be J-Lo. Are we gonna call you J-Pop? J-Pop?
J-Ho.
J-Ho. Oh. Tell me, you're not a one-trick pony.
I love it. It's part of who I am. I've always sang. I've kept it sort of not in the back burner, but I've kept it there, almost like you're caring for something so much because it means so much to you. That I've always said to myself, I'm gonna do it when I'm ready and when it's right. I wanted to release stuff that meant something to me, that were done in the best possible way, produced the best possible way, and also that were songs that I liked listening to. So this release, Broken, that I'm doing now is, it's a song I wrote with Josh Olson, amazing songwriter. And
song performer.
And song performer, singer-songwriter.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Incredible.
Beautiful, beautiful voice. And it sort of reminds me, it's an epic song. It's a very epic song, I think. It reminds me of a film soundtrack kind of song, because it's very small to start with, and then it gets huge, and then it ends with violins and like, that's my kind of jam. I mean,
Yeah,
you know me.
I love it. I love it. Because your song is out.
Yes.
And
it's
people can watch
right now.
it.
It's on iTunes, it's on Spotify, it's on Pandora.
You just said it. Say it again though.
It's called Broken. It's called Broken. As in, I'm broken. Heart broken. It's a very bittersweet song. It talks about, usually love songs that we know of are songs about someone you lost or someone you want. And I thought to myself, what about writing a song about having to break up with someone and not knowing how the hell to say it? And so it's a very bittersweet, complicated song, because it's about not wanting to hurt someone, but actually saying it's over. Yeah.
Deep.
God, that just
deep, dark.
Yeah. And that's the first track that I'm going out there with.
Well, sadly, our time has come to an end.
No!
I know! I love to end my show with either or, which is not that card.
Okay,
it's
good.
This card. Iced tea or hot tea?
Hot, strong, builder's tea.
Dolphins or whales?
That's tough. Dolphins.
Why is that tough?
I don't know. I love.
You're like, I spend every day with both of them, and I can't choose. It's like acting or singing.
I love whales so much.
You love whales? Who loves whales? Well, you. All right. Okay, that's fine.
Whales.
All right. Going to a rock concert or going to a Broadway show?
Is it a pop or is it a rock?
Don't know. My producers wrote this. I didn't. This might be tough for you. You might burst into flames.
Go on.
Grease or Saturday Night Fever?
Saturday Night Fever.
Scrambled eggs or over easy?
Scrambled.
Camping or a ski trip?
None.
Golf or tennis?
None.
I feel like you don't even know what that is.
Yeah, and you're right.
ABBA or Bee Gees?
Oh.
This is a song.
Oh.
Yeah,
Bee Gees.
same. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, I know. It's tough for me too.
I mean, that falsetto.
Right.
Yeah.
Bee sting or a splinter?
I was stung by a bee not long ago, like a month ago. It lasted for 5 days.
Oh, so you would take a splinter?
No, bee sting. Yeah, splinters are ugh. Yeah.
Okay. Starring in a Martin Scorsese film or starring in a Steven Spielberg film?
Spielberg.
They're both watching, so.
And Martin Scorsese too.
Starring in a Sofia Coppola film or a Catherine Bigelow film?
This is all Sophie's choice. What the hell?
I know. Spaghetti or lasagna?
Lasagna.
Halloween candy or Easter candy?
Like the egg?
Yeah,
Easter.
It's like jelly beans.
Chocolate.
There's a lot of Easter.
Chocolate.
And it's chocolate. Sharon Stone or Michelle Pfeiffer?
Oh, you little shh. Oh, how can you do this to me? Oh, man.
I know.
Sharon Stone.
Really? It's a Sophie's choice for me. Backup dancer or backup singer? Yeah. Would you rather be like behind
Or,
Yeah.
I think dancer, because you have more fun.
Okay. And this can be either show or movie, doesn't matter. Lion King or Beauty and the Beast?
Beauty and the Beast.
Spicy or sweet?
I'm not big on spice, so maybe sweet.
Okay.
But I'm not big on sweet. I like savory stuff. It's my favorite stuff.
Okay. Try to like not create your own answer and try to do the either or. Cocktails poolside or cocktails rooftop?
Poolside.
Sundae or an ice cream cone?
Ice cream cone.
Godfather 1 or Godfather 2?
Number one, but yeah, I mean, I can Godfather it all day long.
Same. Going to a basketball game, going to a baseball game?
Basketball.
I'm so surprised. You know why I can't go to a basketball game?
Why?
I don't share the exact same noise issues as you. I only hear the squeaking of their shoes on the floor. That's all I hear. Next time you're watching a basketball game, listen to it. That's all I hear. So I would do baseball just for that.
We didn't talk about my sound issues. I think it's a really good subject.
We'll do it. Let's do it. We'll go into it. Hot dog or hamburger?
Hamburger. I'm obsessed with hamburgers. Yeah.
Christmas Eve or New Year's Eve?
Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve.
Having 1 Oscar or 5 Emmys?
That's a good one. Only because I grew up with watching them. 1 Oscar.
Okay. So let's talk about your weirdness. No one ever talks about their weirdness. You have an issue with sounds.
I do. I feel like it's more a burden to my friends than to me.
It is.
Basically, what happens is that I hear more than the average human being. So it's like when, whales hear sounds, or when dogs hear stuff that's very high-pitched. It's voices, high-pitched voices. It kind of screws up with my attention and I can't concentrate on anything at that point but that sound. And I've been to doctors. I even had like an earpiece at one point that was emitting this white noise sound.
Really?
I was doing a movie actually underwater, and this one got pierced. The eardrum got pierced. So with the years, to compensate, this one just went.
That's a real thing.
Yeah.
So I probably shouldn't make fun of it.
Oh, make fun. No, I need you to make fun.
All right.
Every time I go out to like a restaurant, I have to check like where I'm sitting, if anyone's like loud behind me, and then I usually move. Like I move. You know this. I made you move. Like, can we switch? Can we switch places now? And it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. But since I found out that it has a name, it's called misophonia. Basically, it's the hate of certain sounds.
Sounds like you named it and made it up.
No!
It's a real
There's
thing.
a documentary about it.
Really?
It's coming out. Yeah. Yeah, we hate... It's a weird hatred of sound.
Now you're a community.
It is. And you know what I found out as well? Is that you are born with it and there's nothing you can do about it.
Oh, so it's not from the accident.
Well, the thing with the accident, it's called hyperacusis.
So wait, you have hyperacusis myelophilia. What is it? What is it?
I have misophonia and hyperacusis. So, I'm a walking mess.
Maybe you should write a song about it.
Bro, that's a good idea.
Write a song about it.
That's a good idea. You want to be a co-writer?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
What should it sound like?
You like that?
Slurp, slurp, slurp.
From this couch to the Grammy stage, I just wrote a hit. I cannot thank you enough for coming on. I cannot thank you for everything you've done from the show. Like, you've done a lot. You deserve a credit. Should I put you as like a producer? I mean, you got me guests. You taught me to edit.
I've watched every episode. That makes me a producer.
It does. You are so sweet. Tell everyone where they can find you. You're on Instagram.
I'm on Instagram, and I'm on Twitter, and I'm on Facebook, and I'm on iTunes, and I'm on Spotify.
You're on Netflix.
I'm on Netflix.
You're on TV Guide.
TV Guide for like 5 years ago.
Was this fun? You'd come back, right?
For this?
Yeah, you'd come back, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day, and
maybe.
bye.